Hi ladies, this is Amber Mellon and welcome to my channel. I just want really quickly to show you my little fur baby Samson. Remember I talked about him in my one of my update videos. So this is Samson. He's just so adorable. He is a Morkie Poodle and he is 1 year old. He's a Maltese Yorkie Poodle mix and I got him last year and he is 1 year old. So this is my baby. He acts like a baby and he's very needy like a baby. So yeah, you might see him or hear him in the background, so just please excuse that, and please excuse me if I just let him outside if that's what he wants to do. Anyways, this video, really quickly, I just want to talk about our home buying process and the things that you need to do to have in place if you're thinking about buying a home. So the first thing that you want to do if you're thinking about buying a home is you definitely want to know your credit score. You definitely want to know if your credit score is high enough to buy a house. I know a lot of times I think when I checked for buying a house, your credit score at least needs to be a 550, I believe. But just do your research and look at what your credit score needs to be. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to let Samson out so he won't be messing up our thing. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So yes, you definitely want to research and see what your credit score needs to be to buy a home. Another thing you want to do is if you have a commission-based job or if you work for yourself, if you're self-employed, banks definitely want to see at least 2 years worth of income. I know that when purchasing during the purchasing process, like the whole underwriting period of our loan during our buying process, I ended up getting let go from my job and I switched to a commission-based job, which definitely affected our loan process. So that's another thing that you want to make sure. If you have a hourly job or salary job, I believe they want to at least have 30 days worth of pay stubs, or I think 30 to 90 days worth of pay stubs, but some banks are willing to do at least 30 days if you have an hourly or salary job. Another thing you want to do is just do your research, just to make sure you have everything in order. You need to make sure that you have your tax returns. I believe they want to see at least 2 to 3 years worth of tax returns. You need to make sure you have those in place. You need to make sure you have your W-2s in place. And you need to try to, if you think about buying a home, just, save up some money and start letting it sit in the bank. I definitely know that they might not give you as hard time if you have like a good sum of money just sitting in the bank. So I'll tell you why that matters in just a little bit. And then you definitely want to see what kind of mortgage, think about what kind of mortgage payment that you're comfortable with and what type of house that you can afford. I definitely have learned, from my parents and people that were mentoring us through this process, it's definitely, as a first-time home buyer, it's definitely strongly advised to get a home that's below your budget, that's lower than what you can afford. And that's exactly what we did. We had a healthy loan amount to purchase a home, but we definitely were nowhere near close to our max budget. We definitely went way below our budget, and we still came out really great with a beautiful house with way than enough more space for what we need. As a first-time homeowner, I'm pretty sure we'll, purchase another home sometime in the future, and we'll be able to get a little more. As you get older, you build more, you can have more. But, when you first buy a home, you just want to establish yourself as a homeowner. It helps your credit. It helps you to be a stronger consumer. It allows you to own property, and there's value in property. So you just want to look at your first time home as investment. You don't have to have all the wheels and bustles and thing. Now if you can afford it, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's totally fine. I'm not saying you have to get like a fixer up or something you're not happy with. I just want to let you know, you might not be able to get everything that you want with your first time home. I know I would love to have a 2-car garage, but this house and this floor plan we picked, it only came with 1-car garage. So yeah, those are definitely some of the things that you want to think about. Okay, so finished with that. Now we're going into our home buying process. So like I said, we started this process a little over a year and a half ago. My dad was telling me, me and my husband, you guys have been living in this apartment for X amount of years. We're moving up, going on 5 years to live in an apartment. It was like, you definitely want to think about buying a home. That way, your money can go towards investing back into yourself. So, in the beginning, it was like just an idea, something that was like, felt out of our reach, that we were nowhere near close to doing. But after a while, I started to see the bigger picture, and my husband, he's a teacher and started working, and he's like, we're both kind of settling into our career, so the idea came more like a goal. So anyways, like around last summer is when we went to go apply for a loan, and I was just so excited and happy that we were afforded a loan. We got approved, and we had a really healthy budget, and we could go out looking for homes. So it's such an exciting feeling once you get approved to be able to buy a house, and you get your loan amount, your pre-qualification certificate, and you can go shopping for houses. Such a great feeling. So the frustrating part comes in is looking for houses that you like. You just don't want to settle for anything. You want to take your time. You have to go out and look at the houses. Then you have to put an offer on the house. Some other people might have offers, so you don't want to go in too low. You don't want to go in too high. So that part can be pretty frustrating. The advice that was given to me and my husband from my dad was to, as a first-time homeowner, is to look at buying a new construction house, which is what we got. And I definitely want to do a home tour for you guys. So hopefully I'll have that coming up soon, so you can be able to see the house. So yeah, at first we were just looking around for houses, just looking. Finally, I saw a house on my USAA website that I absolutely fell in love with. It was kind of like a bungalow type craftsman style house. And it was beautiful, furnished hardwood floors. The kitchen was completely remodeled. It had been redone and everything. It was just beautiful. We put an offer in it, didn't get it, came back on the market like a week or two later, put another offer on it, still didn't get it. And I think it's because my husband used to be in the military. He's in the Navy, so we used our VA loan, which that's another quick tip I forgot to tell you guys. If you used to be in the military, using your VA loan is such a great way to buy your first home, because you actually can move in the house with no money down, and you actually get money back at closing costs, which is exactly what happened to us. So yeah, we used my husband's VA loan, and we were able to move into our house with no money down. So but the only thing with the VA is they're pretty strict when it comes to inspections and inspecting the house, because they don't want to give someone money on a house that's not properly built, or is not worth whatever the house is being sold for, So I believe that's probably why we didn't get that house. So I was just kind of disappointed. It was really stressful. So I decided to go back to the drawing board and look for some new communities where new construction houses were being built. So I finally ran into one, and we were able to pick out the floor plan that we wanted, like different type of style house. They had like different price points, different floor plans that you could pick. So initially I wanted a 2-story house, but my husband kind of, the man is always looking at everything. The woman looks at like the decorating and all that kind of stuff and what it could be. The man looks at like the payments. He's the one that's going to take care of everything. He's the one that's going to take care of the big, however much it costs to heat the house. The bigger your house is, the more it costs to heat and cool it down and all that stuff. So he really wanted to do a 1-story. So I was like, okay, I'm picking the floor plan. We'll do the 1-story. So, which was actually great because if you think about it in the future with having kids, you don't want the rooms to be on different levels. You kind of want to be able to get close to your baby or kids or whatever have you. So, yeah, we picked a 1-story home. Like I said, it's 3-bedroom. One car garage, a flex space. If you can see behind me, that's an office. So, yeah, like, we haven't really done much decorating yet. We've just been so busy moving in, and it takes time to unpack everything and organize. And then you still have other stuff and other responsibilities to take care of. So, eventually, we'll get it decorated. But, so back to my point, so we picked out the floor plan, submitted everything, the colors, what we wanted the house to look like. Everything was great. Then we had to wait for the lots to be available for them to submit it into the data system so they could start building it and get all the tools and materials necessary for it. So that took some time. And then the next phase was the actual building process, digging out the lot. I actually got to see this house started from like not even with the slab to just like cleared off land to a slab to framing to the siding, everything. Like I got to see everything, which was like so awesome. Like it was just so amazing that I got to see my house built from the ground up. And it's also good to know that I'm the first homeowner and no one else has lived in this house, which is another great plus of buying a new construction home. So yeah, so the building process, I would say it took about 3 months. It didn't take too long. But towards the end of it, being completed is when we came into some problems. So the first problem was me at my job. I was handing out some business cards to my clients, to my regular clients that requested me. And so the girls have seen me do this before. No one has ever said anything. But again, when God is blessing you and you're thinking about doing stuff and you're moving up, sometimes it's not always good to tell people. And I necessarily didn't tell my coworkers, but they did hear me talk about it to my clients. And I did tell one particular coworker that I thought was my friend. So I just had a lot of jealousy going on. And my manager came to me probably 2 weeks before closing, telling me that I was going to get let go for handing out my business cards to clients, and it was frowned upon. And basically, I got fired. So I was just so devastated. Not that I don't like getting fired because I've never been fired from a job because I just do my best. I want to do my best with any job that I have, and that's just how I was raised. You don't get fired. You move on. So yeah, that's what annoyed me. And the second thing that annoyed me was, why would they do this when they know, I was buying a house and it could affect me. So I absolutely didn't know what to do. I didn't even let my loan officer know. I was just hoping, because we had been through the whole verification process of verifying where you work and how much you make and all that good stuff. So I was just hoping that they would not question me about it. So yeah, I was just so devastated. But I actually had plans on leaving that job after we purchased our house. So I was just sad at just the way it went down, but not actually being fired. So I didn't even question it. I didn't try to ask for my job back. I was just fed up. And so that very same day, I actually went to another shop and I got the job right on the spot. And I was hired, and like I said in my first video, I was actually making double. But the problem came is when my loan officer, I think a week or a few days before closing, they actually do go back and verify everything. So I didn't know that. I thought we were past that whole part. But yeah, up to the last couple, the last 2 or 3 days of doing everything and signing your documents, they actually go back and verify everything that you said. So yeah, that was and then they found out that I no longer worked there. So I had to tell her that I was at another job, and it seemed like everything was going to be okay. She was like, how long have you been at this job? And I had been there for about a month. Like I said, they just want to see 30 days worth of pay stubs. So I was able to give her 2 pay stubs. And so she said she, could work with that. And all we were waiting for was our final VA inspection on the house. And then like the person that was supposed to do our a second inspection actually died. Like it was just so random. Like there was just so many like just emotional roller coasters like up and down with this thing. Like me getting fired, and then I know we had some things with the house where we wanted to like, add some floodlights and stuff, and there was a big drama about that. And then just me getting let go, and just the anxiety of not getting this house because of that. And then, she says everything's fine. And then the person dies, but then they call us back and it's like, well, Amber, I think that we're able to work with you. We can go on without having the final inspection. So you guys are good. And so this is like a few days before Thanksgiving where they were trying to get all this stuff done. Okay. So, yeah, everything is out of coming out of underwriting, and the underwriter's supposed to get like all these things together so you can sign your documents so you can close on the house. Well, the day before Thanksgiving, I lied to you not, my loan officer called me and told me that I was in the honey baked ham place waiting to pay for a ham. I was just so excited, I was just still holding my breath because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what else is going to come up with this house thing. I just hope like that everything's okay. So yeah, she called me and told me that, she wasn't going to be able to close me and my husband because they found out. And to me, she should have checked on this in the very beginning so we could have made adjustments. But she told me she would not be able to close with us because I was at a commission job. And when you have a commission job, they want to be able to see 2 years worth of pay stubs. And I mean, at this point, it's just been like such a long process with waiting for the house to be built, waiting for this, getting fired, all this stuff, resubmitting documents. Because during the process, like they keep asking you questions. They want to know where this amount. I mean, when you get a house and when you're in underwriting and you have to get all your paperwork, I mean, they will turn you inside out. Like you don't want to spend large amounts of money coming out of your bank account. You don't want to make any major purchases or anything like that because it definitely could affect your home. And just during this process too, my realtor told me that she had another client who I guess needed a loan for school, and she didn't know that it would affect her home loan. And like a day before closing, she was not able to buy her home. So all that stuff was just giving me anxiety, and just to now have this happen to me, I was just so devastated because it's something that I was working so hard on, and it was just a lot of like blood, sweat, and tears like went in this whole process of getting to this point. And I just felt like I was just being so strong for so long. Like I just felt so vulnerable and open, like just devastated. And I couldn't take anymore. I just broke down and started crying, and I actually called my pastor and talked to her about it, and she encouraged me. And my dad encouraged me, and basically they told me, Amber, if God wants you to have this house, you're going to have this house. Nothing is going to stop it. If it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. It's okay. It happens to the best of people. People buy houses all the time, and at the last minute, they don't get it. So, yeah, I was just completely devastated. And you guys, I'm just sorry that this video is so long, but I just have to tell you, like, when you are reaching for something, like some people, you see them and they're like, oh, we bought a house, or oh, we opened this business, or oh, we were poor and now we're making all this money. But like people sometimes leave out the dark, gritty, like tearing, scratch your knee kind of information. And I just want to tell you guys, like I said, like doing this process, my emotions was just like up and down all the time. Cause it's like, oh, you need this might affect your loan. Oh, everything's okay. Oh, it's not okay. Oh, it was just like, just all the time. I was just fed up. So I came home and I was crying. My husband, I think he was just mad because I was mad. I don't really think he was upset that we might not have gotten the house because, this was a big step for him too. And he wasn't completely sure if it's something that we should do. But I mean, I just felt that it was the right thing to do. And I was just so devastated. So, quickly we called the builders that was building our house, and we let them know what was going on. And we just tried to go with a different lender. And we actually went through the approved lenders that the builders use to build the houses that they have. So that's what we did quickly. We called them and they gave us a number to a guy. And we actually went with this a mortgage company called Atlantic Bay Mortgage out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And the guy's name, I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind me saying his name because, you know, they like referrals. I think his name was Kevin Cook. And they were saying, you know, this guy helps people all the time. If nobody else can do it, this guy can do it. And I'm like, okay, well, I trust in God. I got to wait and see what he's going to do. But ultimately, God's going to let it happen. But actually, you know, we immediately called him that day. It was right before the holidays. He told us, like, what we needed to get together, have our documents on point so it won't take so long. And I think that was like a Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And so after Thanksgiving Friday, we worked on it. And that Monday is when we actually went to go see him. And guys, we got approved for our loan. We weren't in underwriting for that long. See, when you buy a house, everything is like up to the underwriter. The underwriters kind of like steer the wheel. The loan officer is supposed to be in your corner, you know, working for you, talking to the underwriters, you know, telling them, you know, hey, that these guys can have this, you know, for this house, and, you know, getting all the documents together. But the underwriters are the one who create up scenarios, look at how much is going out, look at how much is coming in, and really steer the ship and decide, like, you know, can you afford this house? So those are the ones that have all the power. And a lot of times, you know, big underwriters at bigger banks, is what we learn, is that, you know, they're more strict. If you go to smaller banks like a credit union or just a smaller mortgage banking group, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be as strict as bigger banks. So to make a long story short, again, because it's already been way long, is we got approved for the house. It was like during Christmas time, and the guy, Kevin, he was working on everything really hard. He didn't want us to have to wait too long to get in our house. He approved us, and our interest rate didn't go up that much. We had a really great interest rate. We didn't have to put any money down, and we actually got money back at closing. So to God be the glory. Like I said, if something's for you, it's for you. It doesn't matter what anybody does to try to, you know, take something from you or hurt you or try to stop you or block you. If it's for you, God's going to make it happen. So yeah, that's the whole thing with our home buying process. But, you know, I guess the bitter something is, the sweeter it is at the end. So yeah, this video has been 22 minutes. It's been super long. So I just hope that helped you, and I hope it inspired you. If I was not clear about something, or you have questions you want to ask me about like the house and everything, please feel free to do so. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about our process. And I actually do have more detailed information on my blog at melongirl.com, and I have tons of pictures. And I guess I'll try to create a video with pictures of the house in a separate video, because it's going on 22 minutes. Well, ladies, that's all for today. Hopefully my next video, I'll have a home tour for you guys. And like I said, it's so good to be back on camera. I love you, and God bless. Have a great day. See you next time.